He tried to pull back, his tongue stretched but wouldn't tear free. His friends panicked, trying to yank it off, but they saw a train headed straight for them.
What's good, YouTube? Today we're gonna be looking at Zack D Films. Y'all know my boy, the best animator on YouTube next to Talking Hat. Let's get this on the road, all right?
Pulled off the frame and found a sketch hidden inside, signed by Andy Warhol. You see, the famous artist had drawn it at just 10 years old, and his babysitter kept it, hiding it in an old painting for decades. But eventually, it ended up at a garage sale.
Hot take, paintings look garbage, and the only reason why people like paintings or like these modern paintings is because of the story of the artist. They don't even really care about the art itself. All they be care about is how old is it, what time period was it, was the artist a nut job? That's what they be taking into account when they be pricing the actual art. Because if we're being honest with ourselves, the actual drawings look very, you know, they're all right. They're all right. They're still good though.
Where the man bought it for just $5. When he
$5?
showed the sketch to experts, they said it could be worth over $2 million. But Warhol's brother claims it's a fake, and the art board refuses to authenticate it, meaning it turned out to be worth nothing.
Why would you throw it? Go ask Andy Warhol himself. Oh, you're an idiot.
If you clench your jaw, the movement sets off a switch inside, pulling the trigger and firing.
Oh my, you got that fiery throat? You got that explosive jaw? Oh my God, yo bro, your jaw game is amazing.
The gun. Now the gun is bolted to the top of the helmet, meaning wherever you look, the barrel points. You see, this was designed for soldiers during World War II to free up their hands, but it never caught on since firing a gun on the top of your head could blow it off.
Yo, so imagine the person that actually had to go through that for them to realize this shit don't work. And I'm not gonna lie, the amount of precision you have to aim your jaw at someone like and make sure you're biting down correctly is crazy.
She suddenly gave birth while she was sitting.
Okay, Zack D Films. I don't know why you animators are feeling comfortable drawing this type of shit. Yo, Zack, you could've just plopped out the baby. I promise you, you would have left the same message, bro. You don't gotta be doing all of this, bro.
On the toilet of a moving train, but she fainted and the baby slipped through the toilet chute, falling straight onto the track.
Okay, here I was thinking he was gonna land in some sort of like toilet poop, and then they were just gonna scoop him out. He's on the track?
As the train rolled away. When the woman finally woke up, she screamed for help, and her family members made the driver stop the train. They jumped off and ran back to look for the baby, who was eventually found alive and unharmed.
Okay, that's good. That's good. W, man.
He dug through the purse until he found his mom's credit card, secretly booking a ticket to Bali.
Yo, this kid got expensive taste. Here I was thinking bro was gonna like max out on like some Robux, maybe buy some FIFA points, get himself the new 2K. You booking flights to Bali? Yo, this kid is a genius.
On a site that lets kids fly alone. You see, when his mom refused to take him, the 12-year-old decided to go by.
I'm sorry. When I was a kid, the last thing I thought to myself was I want to travel the world. Has he been watching like National Geographic? Like, what is this?
Himself. And when he got there, he told security officers his mother was waiting for him outside. For the next few days, he rode bikes around the city and lounged in the hotel pools. But he was eventually spotted on a social media post, and his parents flew there to drag him back home.
Okay. You should never steal from your parents. I'm not gonna lie. I never even ever thought to steal a single dollar away from my mom or dad. But yo, that kid, oh, they had to be scared shitless though.
The jack screws were hand cranked beneath the buildings, and each one was turned at exactly the same time, raising the building with people still inside. Wooden supports were stacked beneath until it reached the new, higher street level, and brand new foundations were constructed as the building remained suspended.
So y'all built more rooms underneath as the building was growing. Smart, I guess? I don't know, but if you're not gonna tell me to evacuate, that sounds crazy. How do you even lift a building that big? Is it not heavy? How much workers do you have at the bottom for this to even happen?
Thousands of dead mice wearing tiny cardboard parachutes were dropped over the jungle.
Oh, y'all got too much money. Who woke up one day and thought to themselves, hear me out, 1,000 mice? Let's equip them with parachutes. What type of shrooms did you have to be on for this to even like become an actual like idea that you had to try?
And each one contained a small dose of Tylenol. You see, the jungle was full of invasive snakes, and they would slither into electrical wires, electrocuting themselves and causing massive power outages. But if they ate the mice, that tiny amount of Tylenol inside was enough to kill them. This cut.
So that's all you gotta do? Okay. Next time I'm around snakes, bro, I'm about to like Tylenol baby oil myself, bro. Hold down, dripped up. And if you ever want to bite me, bro, you're cooked.
Down on the population and stopped the power outages.
Next up.
The magician pushes the ribbon inside of a fake thumb. And on the final push, he sticks it on the other hand. When he opens his hand again, the ribbon is gone. Next, he does the same thing on the other side, making the ribbon reappear.
Everyone knows this trick, right? I feel like this has got to be the weakest magic trick now. I think everyone knows about the fake thumb action. Like they put like salts and then like, and then they go like, and then they put the thing in them like, oh, right there. If you don't know how to do this trick, I don't know. Am I the only one that used to like love debunking magic tricks? I couldn't have been the only one, bro. Like if only magic was actually real.
And when you're distracted by the ribbon, he ditches the fake thumb in his pocket. The magician.
Okay.
The king gave each boy a seed and told them to grow the best plant they could. You see, the king was old and was trying to find an heir to the throne. One boy named Ping loved gardening. He watered his seed, gave it sun, and used the best soil.
Do y'all think this is the right way to go on about finding a king? You're gonna choose the best farmer? I will say back then in medieval times, they probably came up with the worst ways to decide who the leader was. I'm gonna need everyone to stand on one foot. Whoever stands on the foot the longest, I got you, was running this whole place.
Keeping close watch, he waited for a sprout, but nothing ever grew. When it was time to show the king, the other boys had huge, colorful plants. But Ping only had his pot with no plant. He decided to bring it anyway. The king looked at every plant without saying a word until he
Oh! Is he the only truthful one? I could already predict it. He's the only one that's actually like he didn't replace it with a fake plant. Okay. Yo.
reached Ping. Then he smiled and announced him as the winner. You see, the king had previously boiled all of the seeds,
So
they
none of them
couldn't
actually grow.
Meaning he knew that every other boy had cheated and replaced their seed with a different one. But Ping was honest, and the king knew that honesty was more important than results.
I'm not gonna lie, amazing story, bro. Amazing story, bro. This is a good way to go on about trying to find a new king or an heir to the throne. This is smart. This is good.
If you swung a jump rope fast enough, could it actually cut your grass? Well,
Yo, I'll be honest, I was always jealous of the people that could break dance when jump roping. Cause I already struggle trying to jump rope alone or when two people are doing it. So when I see people doing like flips and tricks and like dancing around, I'm like, yo, bro, you making me look ass, bro.
jumping at a regular speed would just bend the grass instead of cutting. To actually slice through it, you would have to spin the rope at 600 miles per hour. That's over 30 times every single second. But if you mess up and the rope hits your shin, it would slice through you like a whip before smashing into your bones.
Dang, okay, so don't jump rope that fast. I don't even know why you would want to jump rope to cut grass. And yo, Zack D Films, who's even thinking this? I don't think there's a single person out there that's wondering, yo, if I jump rope fast enough, could I cut the grass? What actually made you think to animate this?
He was shot 3 times after a fight broke out in a bar, but each bullet headed towards a different part of his uniform.
No, this gotta be more rare than winning the lottery. Either the dude that shot the bullets didn't want to kill him, or no, he's him. He's actually him.
One slammed into the wallet, another hit his pistol belt, and the third struck the flashlight on his hip, shattering it. But the gear managed to absorb the impact, and all 3 bullets were stopped. He walked away with only minor injuries.
Wait, hold on, but who stopped the other dudes? Like, was someone else there? Just because they shot you 3 times, why'd they stop? Damn, that is amazing luck, though.
If you dropped a basketball from the Empire State Building, it would only bounce back a few stories.
That would kill someone, right? If you dropped a penny from the top of the Empire State Building, would that kill someone? Like, if it hit them directly in the head, or like maybe like a quarter. If not, I'd assume that it would injure them, like heavy.
But what if you wanted to bounce it all the way back to the top? Well, you would need a basketball 3 times the size of a hot air balloon. But since some energy is always lost, it would only bounce 80% of the way back up. To get it to reach the top, you would need a slingshot to add extra force. But if the angle was off even a little bit, it could launch sideways, crushing the Empire State Building.
Are we serious? Are we serious, Zack D Films? Are we showing another New York building crashing? You trying to get canceled, bro.
They stumbled onto a landmine, which blew off the soldier's leg. You see, they had run into a forgotten minefield from a completely different war.
I'll be honest, this is one of my fears. The fact that one day I'll just go to a random country and then boom, I'm cooked. My legs are done.
And even though it ended 17 years earlier, hundreds of mines had been left there. Now, they tried to stay still and call for a rescue helicopter, but as another soldier ran to help, he triggered a second mine.
Imagine trying to help your mans with one leg and then you end up the same as him. Yo, I don't care what anyone says. Once they rescue you, you need to give me your other leg, 100%. No, I'm sorry. I'm using your leg as the artificial one.
Blowing off his own leg. Finally, the helicopter arrived, but as it hovered, the wind set off a third mine, which sent shrapnel into another soldier.
Oh my god, yo, their luck is so terrible. Were they all just cursed? Imagine people telling you, oh, stay exactly where you are. It's the only way we're gonna get out of here. RIP, man, if he did die.
Before they were finally rescued. They stumbled.
Wow.
The cameras scanned the cube's colors in real time using machine vision, and custom algorithms instantly calculate the most efficient moves to solve the cube. High-performance motors twist each side of it.
Am I the only one that still doesn't know how to do a Rubik's Cube? This still feels impossible to me, bro. I never cared to, I'll be honest, but I don't know, it's just out of my league for real, bro.
He inhaled a seed while walking through a forest, not thinking anything of it. It was so small, it didn't even make him cough.
Yo, Zack D Films, if you tell me that this seed grows in this man's belly, I'm actually gonna sue you, bro. Do not scare me like that, bro. Do not scare me like that, bro.
But it settled deep in his lung. Over time, he started to feel pain in his chest, so he went in for a scan. Doctors spotted what looked like a tumor, but when they opened him up, they didn't find cancer. They found a small tree, nearly 2 inches long, growing inside his lung.
But where was the sun coming from? Seeds can grow in your body? Okay, bro. There's certain shit that I just didn't want to like ever think. The chances of food going into your lungs is crazy, or anything.
It had taken root in the warm, moist tissue.
Root.
Fed by his body instead of soil. Leeches were dropped into the glass bottles, each filled with rainwater and sealed with a narrow tube. Wires ran from those tubes to a small bell in the center. As the storm approached, the air pressure outside began to drop, and this caused the leeches to start to squirm, trying to get to higher ground.
Yo, are leeches dangerous? Hypothetically, this is all hypothetically, by the way. If I was to put a leech,
crawled up through the tubes and hit a trigger made of whalebone, which pulled a wire and made a hammer strike the bell. And the more leeches that climbed, the more the bell rang, warning that a storm was approaching.
Oh, so those were leeches are used for. Be honest, in the history of life, do y'all think somebody put a leech in their dick?
She cut through his frostbitten foot.
Yo, Zack D Films, can we get a trigger warning? Can we please get a trigger warning? That's all I asked for.
Using only scissors, and the man felt everything. When it was done, she kept the foot in a freezer, hoping to take it home and—
Yo, the fact that y'all not putting people through anesthesia when doing shit like this, that's crazy.
Hoping to take it home and cover it in resin. You see, her family owned a taxidermy shop, and she planned to display the foot in the window with a sign that read, "Wear your boots, kids." When the man died, she tried to steal the foot, but the other nurses stopped her, and his foot was finally sent off with the body. She cut through.
So your way of teaching kids a lesson was to show a dead man's foot in display to tell kids to wear their shoes in cold weather. Yeah, please revoke her license immediately. And please tell me she didn't actually cut off his foot with some scissors.
As the Titanic was sinking, rumors spread that the captain was drinking during the disaster, and others said he faked his death, escaped, and fled to America. But
yo, be honest, if you guys were in the Titanics, let's say you're a guy, because if you're a lady, chances are your ass is gonna get in the boat. Are y'all gonna like push everybody and be like, hell no, I'm getting out?
First reports were from people who heard gunshots on the bridge, claiming the captain shot himself as the ship went down. Because of this, he was remembered as a coward. But years later, one researcher claimed the gunshots were fired as warning shots to calm the panicked crowd.
So, boat is going down, we all could potentially sink, and you're putting gunshots out. That's supposed to calm me down?
One survivor saw him saving a baby and refusing a lifeboat so others would be saved.
Oh, hell nah. We're throwing that baby out. What you think this is, Squid Games? I know how these games end. Hell nah. We are flicking the baby out and we're creating the spot for more people, bro. That baby barely lived life.
Meaning the captain may have actually been a hero after all.
A hero? Buddy, if you were a hero, you would have dodged that iceberg.
He was mad because he died in the game, so he researched the other gamer's identity. And after 7 months of stalking, he realized he lived just a few miles away.
What game could you have potentially lost for you to ever be that mad?
When he rang the doorbell, the man answered, and suddenly he pulled out a kitchen knife and stabbed the man in the chest.
Bro, what game did you lose in for this to be a reality? I'm sorry, there is not a single game in this world that I could lose for this shit to be happening.
It missed his heart by less than an inch, and somehow the man survived. But the attacker spent 2 years in prison.
He was an inch away from his heart, less than an inch, and you only gonna give him 2 years? He wanted to end his life. He paid the judge. No, the judge knows him.
All over a video game. One identical twin boards a spaceship, while the other stays on Earth. The spaceship then begins flying through space at the speed of light. Now, even though they would both feel time passing normally, the twin back on Earth would actually experience time faster. That's because time bends and stretches depending on how fast you're going. And the closer you get to the speed of light, the more time slows down. Meaning when the one twin returned, they would be younger than the other twin.
Yo, would y'all want twins, bro? Am I the only one that's like super glad that I'm not a twin? I feel like the thought of there being another person that looks exactly like me is depressing. Shout out to all those twins out there. I feel like the reason why I feel unique and special is because I'm the only person that looks like me. So if there's someone else that has the exact same features as me, I'd be damned, bro.
They crammed the 500-pound body inside the chamber and turned up the flames to cremate it. But as it began to burn, the massive amount of fat started to liquefy.
Who was you cremating? A nigga off an episode of My 600-Pound Life?
And then ignited. Chunks of burning fat launched up through the vent system, landing on the roof. This set the rubber material on fire, forcing workers inside to evacuate. And by
Even in death, fatness could actually haunt you.
the time firefighters arrived, the roof was engulfed in flames. He lines up the probe carefully and moves forward to lock it into the hose trailing from the plane. Then the probe's nozzle pushes against
There's no way you could be that accurate with the jet plane, bro.
a valve on the hose. This creates a sealed connection between the planes. Then thousands of gallons quickly pump through the hose and into the fighter jet. And this fills the jet's tanks as the
How are you that accurate with this, bro?
planes continue to fly in perfect formation. The bullet was shot and lodged into his chest. Now, doctors said it was too close to his heart and lungs to remove, so they just left it in. He
Imagine getting sprayed with a gun and being told, yeah, bro, just leave it in there. Would I rather poop the bullet out or cough the bullet out?
grew up and raised a family with a bullet still inside of him.
Yo, so did he ever decide to go on airplanes? Like, did the metal detectors not always go off? Was he not always annoyed?
And it sat in his chest for decades without pain. But at age 85, while recovering from a car crash, he coughed, and the bullet came out after all these years.
From a car crash? Yo, what's this man's luck?
If you swab the microbes off of your skin and drop them into a jar of flour and water, they'll start to eat the sugars inside the flour.
Y'all got way too much money to do this, bro.
And as they break it down, they release carbon dioxide gas. Over a few days, the mixture will bubble up as more and more gas is released.
Y'all trying a bread made from my balls? Bread balls. That's what I'm gonna call it, bro. I'll just put some cotton swabs in there, dump it down to some flour. Y'all dead ass not gonna try croissant balls, bro? That's fake, bro.
Next, add more flour and water, kneading it together until you have dough.
Yo, Zach, why are you going to this extent to actually make it look like bread, bro?
When you bake it, you'll have your very own sourdough using your body's natural yeast.
Do not do this. Your ass gonna get sick.
If a long strip was taped to a dollar bill and fed into a soda machine before making a
I've always wanted to do this. I know this is highly illegal, but I've always wanted to see if this shit actually works.
selection, could the money be yanked back out in time to get a free soda? Well, modern vending machines scan the bill by shining lights onto the paper, and if it reflects off the tape in unexpected ways, the machine will reject the bill. But older machines would only check for the magnetic ink inside the bill, meaning it could be accepted and then yanked out, leaving credit on the machine while you save the $1 bill. But remember, this is...
Yo, you know how much times vending machines probably got scammed in their earlier times, bro? In their earlier times, they were probably always cooked, bro. I know niggas was mad that they had all their merchandise gone and they only made $3, bro.
stealing, and you would be a scumbag if you tried it.
Yo, Zack D Films, you are motivating other people to try this shit. We know what you're doing, bro. You're uploading more animations to tell people how to steal. Like, I know what you're doing.
The bird was stuffed inside the doll, and a head was placed on top.
Yo, which asshole did that? Why?
When the child picked it up, it would twitch and move. Even its beak would open and close. But as the bird struggled to escape, it would make the toy move, almost like it was powered by gears. Now, eventually, the bird would die, and the doll would turn into a coffin, holding the rotting corpse of the trapped animal.
I'm sorry, I'm still trying to figure out why someone actually put a bird in a doll.
He licked the cold train track to see what would happen.
Dude, this is one of my biggest fears. Have y'all ever like licked maybe like the freezer or like something and then you move your tongue and you can't move it? And I just be thinking to myself like, please, if I could just escape this, I promise I will never put my tongue in anything cold ever again. Everyone had this thing happen to them once and was scared shitless.
The moisture on his tongue froze solid in seconds, fusing it to the rail. And when
I didn't know that's how it worked. I thought it was only the tip that gets cold. Pause.
he tried to pull back, his tongue stretched but wouldn't tear free. His friends panicked, trying to yank it off, but they saw a train headed straight for them. They waved their arms, screaming for it to stop as it rounded the bend, and the conductor managed to slam the brakes just in time. He jumped down with a cup of hot water and poured it on the boy's frozen tongue, melting him loose.
I don't think that's how the interaction went. I don't think the conductor just said, huh, his ass probably got in trouble like shit. Yo, he's better than me because I wouldn't even have taken that chance. You were gonna risk your whole head, bro? My ass would have been like, ah. Wait, do tongues grow back?
If you fell off a building, could a giant gummy bear save you? Well,
Oh my God. Yo, Zack, who sent you this question? Which one of your team thought this was cool to do?
for this to work, the gummy bear would need to be at least a few hundred feet tall and super thick. As you smack into it, the gummy would absorb the impact, but you would punch straight through the surface, sinking into the sticky gelatin, and breathing would be impossible, meaning you would be trapped deep inside until you suffocated.
All right, wow. Apparently there's people that want to know what's gonna happen to you if you fall into a gummy bear. Yo, YouTube, if you're watching this, make sure you guys join us on Twitch. Make sure you guys subscribe, join us on Discord, follow the socials, all that good stuff, man. Stay safe. Black Surfer for life. Love y'all, and peace.